Hey friends, do you happen to remember when Disney was like good? I mean, back in 2010, which was wow, 15 years ago. Jesus. Um anyway, Disney was trying to make some pretty decent decisions with their properties at the time. They released the first episodes of Kick Buttowski, Good Luck Charlie, Fish Hooks, and Shake It Up. They released Tangled, the good Alice in Wonderland movie, Tron Legacy, and Sorcerer's Apprentice, which is another good movie. Yes, I will die on that hill.
See, that's what canon.
So they were trying to do pretty damn well for themselves, I would say. But the title of this video isn't Why Did Disney Die or How Did We Lose Our Childhood, so please, let me get to my point. Scrolling through the Disney wiki past all of the information I definitely knew off the top of my head and didn't get from this page, you'll find the video game section. And this is where you'll find not at all what I wanted to talk about. What the hell? I swear to God, Disney released this. Oh, yeah, right there. Developed by BlackRock Studio and published by Disney Interactive Studios. Man, this seems like this game was kinda forgotten about by its developer. Hey, that's a great video idea! Split Second was a game that released on May 18th of 2010 here in the United States, before being released on the 21st as Split Second Velocity for my friends over in the EU. Now, taking a quick glance at this game, I'm sure it looks quite a bit like another from this 360 era of racing games, MotorStorm Apocalypse, which did come out after, by the way. And while looking at the footage of both games side by side, they certainly do seem to be a bit difficult to distinguish. I can wholeheartedly tell you that these games are wildly different experiences. Like Noodle said in his video with Punk Duck, while in MotorStorm you're kind of at the whim of thing happening while you race, in Split Second you directly control when thing happen, and it makes sure to tell you that directly out the gate. You get a little bit of handholding with the tutorial, which takes you through the beginner course. To keep it simple for the sake of the video, drift, jump, or literally almost die to gain power meter. Bar 1 or 2 fills, you can push the button to set off a trap that will most likely wreck another driver, but not for sure. Blow up a bus, a gas station, swing a crane or a wrecking ball down, real baby stuff, but still effective. For the big red bar, I need to take you further into the experience. As the tutorial tells you, Split Second is a TV show. It's being televised all over the world, and to make sure you know this, there's a little recording logo that pops up on the right-hand side sometimes like you're watching the news. This game does its best to stick to the formula a normal TV show has, beginning the game with the basic stuff and then ramping up the ante as the season progresses forward. 12 episodes in a season, with 5 events per episode. There is a 6th, but we'll get to that. Hopping into Event 1 of Episode 1, Rigged to Blow, you'll find yourself in the first map and the most basic game mode, Race. After a few shots of the main set pieces, a quick pan of the camera around your car, you are off. Now, the first thing you're going to realize about this game is that the HUD is extremely not there. No minimap to see where you're going, no speedometer because who the fuck cares, just the stuff you really need to know. How far to go, how many people are in front of you, and how fast you can make them see God. Another thing that's probably obvious out the gate is that this game feels fast. Between the constant state of death you're almost a second away from at any given moment, the generally cramped spaces all of the cars are shoved onto, and the incredibly shaky camera that the show is being recorded on, you feel like you're in control of the car, but not really? As you race along this, hopefully abandoned, airport terminal, you'll trigger explosion after explosion, dodge more death than your average mortician, and just maybe get through lap 1. But if you're patient enough, you just might see those little bars climb as you're racing, creeping up into the red zone. And maybe you'll even be smart enough to hold on to it until you see a symbol that looks like this. And then Oh my, I don't know if that's okay. Am I allowed to show, are they gonna be okay? So, Yeah, while your level 1 power plays are usually harmless to most other cars except for the one that you were targeting, level 2 power plays are almost always completely destructive and can devastate half of the race roster with a single button click. Not only that, but they also completely change the route of the track? Don't like how the map is laid out? Route change. All the traps are used on one route and you need some new ones? Route change. Truly, it is the perfect solution. But don't think you're immune to all of the crazy shit you set off. You girl boss a little too close to the sun and then... And wait. What is this? Using your plays defensively instead of offensively? That's right, ladies and gentlemen, as if this game didn't have enough ways to hurl metal through the track, you can spend one of your precious power bars to open a pathway for yourself so you can save a few seconds your opponents spend blowing each other to smithereens. Now, Badge, I hear you say, I want to win the race, but there are so many explosions happening, I can't seem to stay on the track. What should I do? First of all, please save all questions until the end. Secondly, split-seconds vehicles actually have 4 stats in order to help you track what each vehicle is good at. At least they technically do. Speed and acceleration don't really matter, in my opinion, as when you're really getting into things, they all kinda start to feel the same in that department. However, do not ignore drift or strength. A high drift stat means your car is built for hitting it sideways and sliding a corner, while a low one means you're probably gonna have a hard time initiating and or staying in the drift. Now, strength is interesting. While it does have the obvious effects of being able to let you survive bigger hits, it's not the way normal games do it. You see, Split Second doesn't exactly have a damage system, so instead they opted for more of a shockwave effect. In order to show you my point, let me show you some more of the game modes. In Airstrike, you are completely alone on the track, and instead of racing, you are surviving for as long as you can while a military helicopter uses the entire US military spending budget to try to off you. Dodge the missiles, earn points. Real simple. In Survival, you are once again the only important driver on the track, with fodder alongside you to help distract the massive 18-wheelers hauling volatile waste that they throw at you randomly. Blue hurts, red kills, don't get hit, survive as long as you can. Now, with that out of the way, the shockwave system shoves you around, clearly. With cars that have a low strength, it shoves your car in the direction away from the blast, usually, and forces your car into a drift, tossing you potentially into another obstacle or a wall if you're unlucky. For a big truck with super high strength, that's of course not a problem at all. You can just about roll through whatever you feel like without flinching too bad, at the cost of taking corners, well, like a truck. I recommend just playing the game through. When you unlock a new car, try it out. Like the game says, some cars are better for certain events, so just try everything once. Once you manage to beat and batter your way through these events, and others, which I won't show you so you have a reason to play the game yourself, you encounter the Elite Race. You see, the 6th event that I've been neglecting to share is that exact race. At the end of each episode, you have to do one more crazy race with the best of the best from that division in order to move forward. And honestly, it's a bit of a challenge. The other racers are using cars that you physically can't unlock until episodes further down or after the grand finale. Each one seems to be a slight bit harder than the last, pushing your skills further and further before you end off the show. But after all is said and done, after you get through all 12 episodes, beat the season finale race, you can confidently say, you've done it. You've spent all this time beating your way past your opponents, earning achievements and decals for your car, watching that number on your car go from 99 to 1 as you pass the competition easier and easier. You've won Split
Great season, crew.
Wait a minute.
It's a wrap. Wait a minute. Hey, how are those power plays getting set off? We deactivated them after the final race. Who are these guys? The set's supposed to be clear by now. It wasn't supposed to be torn down yet. What's going on? Oh no. Not them. But they got taken off air in 82! Man. He said they'd be back, but... Oh boy. This ain't gonna end well.
Oh, hey, yeah, you know how they left this game open for a second one and kind of set up a plot line that could maybe introduce an enemy or like a secondary faction? Yeah, no, that is definitely not happening. Not even close. So, screw us, right? I didn't want a second one anyway. Yeah, no, I definitely didn't want that. Anyways, man, that was kind of intense, huh? So much exploding, crashing, missiles, helicopters, and big rigs. I mean, so much tarmac. Ugh, I need a break. You know, like a vacation or something. Maybe take a nice soak in some water. Maybe like a boat ride or
Hydro Thunder! Hurricane!
Oh, hell yeah. Hydro Thunder Hurricane is a game that I hold very near and dear to my heart. And while I don't have a lot to talk about, that does not mean that I don't enjoy this game in any way, shape, or form. I mean, I can remember playing it when I was younger, and I just didn't really appreciate it as much as I guess I should have. Now that I've gotten older, a close friend of mine and I just decided to pick it up on a whim, and... Holy Christ, is this game just bursting with personality. If someone asked me to recommend a game that developers had fun with, this would be the first one out of my mouth. All of the little details come alive from the very second you boot up the game, the main menu screaming
Hydro Thunder! Hurricane!
at you, the insane boat designs and names, like one literally just being a big rubber duck. Hell, when you're getting ready to use the expert level boats, the narrator hits you with a
You're crazy!
just to sell the insanity. Here, let me show you what I'm talking about, rather than just sitting here and yapping at you. This is Storming Asgard, the second map that the game has to offer. You start off at a dead start like every other track, where you can rev your engine and the announcer counts you down, and then you absolutely slam that gas pedal and you hear the engines rev as you floor it through the water. And this is where you meet your co-pilot, when he tells you that
Boost is armed and ready.
or gives tidbits about what's going on. Sometimes he's even petrified for whatever the hell you decide to throw him into. Before you get the chance to get charmed by his mesmerizing voice, though, a boat comes to warn you not to venture forward. And why is that, you may ask?
This is crazy.
Oh, that wasn't so bad. I mean, if I didn't have plot armor and a literal boat, I might be a little scared. Is that a fucking woolly mammoth? Is that an Asgardian war room? Is that Thor?
Hey, I didn't sign up for this.
Oh, hey, would you look at that? I won.
Ah, sweet, sweet gold.
But that isn't the only crazy-ass scenario that this game throws you into. Ancient ruins with a massive sea serpent, a water treatment facility with a homicidal airplane pilot, Area 51, and then just the city of Seoul? Nothing different? Huh. If a standard race wasn't enough for you, though, Hydro Thunder also packs a punch with 2 other game modes. I mean, technically 3, but Tournament is just multiple tracks in a row, so, you know. You have Ringmaster, which is just you on the route, with all of the obstacles as before, but now you have to follow a set path through ring checkpoints in order to get boost. This mode is really good for teaching you about shortcuts that each map has to offer, especially on higher difficulties, but that also means that it's really good at teaching you how awful you are at following a set route while controlling a literal boat. Each map has 3 difficulties for this, allowing you to use the boats that go with it respectively. Now, you in the back, I hear you. Badge, I really enjoy MotorStorm Apocalypse and want that in your face at the whim of the gods sort of feeling. Okay, 3 things. First, please hold all questions and comments until the end. God, you're persistent, Jesus. Secondly, that whim of the god thing, you didn't get that on, Storming Asgard? You didn't get that on Storming Asgard? Okay, well anyway. Thirdly, I'm gonna assume that you didn't go back to Split Second and find the Detonator game mode, which, that's a shame, but hey, is what it is. This game has something to offer you as well. Welcome to Gauntlet. It offers the same tracks as before, but now you have explosive barrels that litter every section, making every choice you make life, or potentially... This game is truly a blast. It had a game before it, which I never touched. It had a mobile port of this game, which I also never touched. It's genuinely a great game with a few good hours of content, so if you have an Xbox, just snag it sometime. This game is nothing without its music, by the way. I didn't look up who directed it or composed it, which I probably should have. It's probably on screen now if I know me. But please, give that a glance too, because I can't use it for copyright purposes, but Jesus, it is amazing. Onrush is a game that makes me sad. You probably heard about it in the video that I'm very clearly copying from, where Noodle and Punk Duck spoke about it for all of 30 seconds as a supporting point for the Evolution Studios. Just like they said, this game should have worked. But, just like they said, it didn't. I want to talk about this game so much. I really do. But you know what's insane? It's almost like this game knows that its studio was mishandled. It's truly as if it knows that its fate is sealed and it wants to stay dead. Every single time that I have tried to record genuine gameplay footage for this game... What? Every single time that I have tried to genuinely record footage for this game, it has corrupted beyond all saving grace. I mean, like, if I showed it to you, it would probably give an epilepsy warning. The only thing that I have managed to record on my own is the footage of the introductions. So, expect to see a lot of this pretty face for this section. No talks about the HUD, or the pretty graphics, the uniqueness of the maps, the visual style, I mean, anything like that, sadly. If you would like to see the game in its glory, here are a couple gameplay videos that should help do the trick. Now, this game has been so thoroughly buried that it's caused its own studio to basically cease to exist, and all it did was dare to be good. Being part arcade racer and part team-based fighter, like Punk Dunk said, Onrush presents itself out the gate by letting you know that this is not a race. There is not a single map in the game that is point A to point B, not a single one that has a finish line. That is not what you're here to do. What you are here to do, however, is one of the 4 game modes. You have the bread and butter classic Overdrive. Keep your foot on the gas and your thumb pinned to that boost button because that's what you need to do to win. As you boost, you add points to your teammates' score, and the first team to reach whatever number you set, best 3 of 5, wins. It's nice and clean, nice and simple. Then you have this game's version of Gun Game, Switch. There's no choice in what vehicle you pick, everyone is starting on motorcycles. Make your way through knocking out other drivers, and they lose a life, which makes them move up to the last class of the car, the big trucks. But if you somehow manage to be bad enough to get knocked out while in a truck, your game isn't quite over yet. You get to keep playing and make sure the other team's life is a living hell by wreaking havoc on all of the other members with lives left. And the last team with lives wins. Then you have 2 obscure-ish ones that I never really see people talk about, Countdown and Lockdown. Countdown is the closest thing this game has to an actual race. Each team starts with a set amount of time, and it never stops ticking down. Every teammate that makes it through a little checkpoint adds a little bit of time back to the clock, extending the game. As the first driver makes it through, it gets a little bit wider, making it easier for teammates behind to follow through, so it still has that team-based aspect, but it's more like a race than anything else. Push and crash through everyone else on the other team, last team with time wins. When it comes to Lockdown, a big circle spawns on the map moving at an incredibly high speed. Keep hurling teammates into the zone as majority holding it takes it once enough people are in it for long enough. Each captured zone earns a point, team with the most points wins. Now, With those game modes, the fact that you're driving while doing all of this and just the look of the game had me immediately sold. But where it really got interesting for me was the different vehicles. This game breaks it down into different classes just like any other team-based game. You want to play like a tank? The trucks Titan or Enforcer are your way to go. Here to hunt down your enemy? Try Interceptor or Charger. Here to be an actually decent human being and help the team towards victory? Thank you so much, you are amazing. Dynamo is the ride for you. And then if you want to stunt, you have Vortex, or if you want to hate existence and crash every 15 seconds, racking up a KD worse than your little brother after an all-nighter on COD 4, the bikes are right there for you to use at any single time. But they really didn't stop there when it comes to uniqueness. Each vehicle has their own special things that they do in order to not only create a unique playstyle for all of them, but reward you for following it. Playing in the style of your vehicle rewards you with Rush Meter, essentially this game's form of an ultimate. For example, remember Dynamo? You get rewarded for being a team player, as all you have to do in order to charge your meter is stay near teammates. Remember the bully trucks? Well, to charge your boost meter as Enforcer, you have to target the little guys. This game has boosts, like any other arcade racer, but in order to get it, you have to hunt enemies, stay near teammates, etc., like I said. But the best way to target the little, unimportant cars that aren't on the other team. They're easy to put down, and even easier to make fill that boost gauge. Now, for our Enforcer friends, that charges your rush meter too. But are the fodder a little too light for you? Want to target the other team? Slamming into them disengages their boost meter for a few seconds. Yeah, you know, the main thing that you used in the primary game mode? Not anymore, jackass. Oh, and the soundtrack. Oh dear God, the soundtrack is so over the top and aggressive. The best part is that it's partially dynamic. When you hit a massive jump, the music fades out while you're falling and then slams back in once you hit the ground. And when you pop your rush, the music gets replaced by this pop-punk scream that makes you feel like an absolute force of nature before it rushes back in when it's over. The sound design is absolutely amazing. The little voice lines and tags are amazing. The gameplay is amazing. There is literally no reason that this game should have flopped the way it did. It is genuinely heartbreaking that we never got to see what Evolution Studios could have done after their merger, and that passion projects like this get closer to being a bygone era every day. Thank you, Evolution, for everything that you've done, and the amazing time that I had with this game. It and you, all of the team, deserved way better than you got. Alright. I'll admit it with this one. Badge, I hear you say yet again. Calling a Need for Speed game forgotten is like saying a COD game is forgotten. They still get talked about. A, dude, seriously, cut it with the comments, for the love of God, please. B, I call this one completely fair. This game is so controversial that you either love it or completely hate it. And you want me to prove it's forgotten? When I say to you, Need for Speed Most Wanted, you don't think of this one. Don't lie to me and say you do. It's not even like a Modern Warfare 2 situation where people can say, oh, do you mean the modern one or the old one? No. People almost exclusively think of the old Most Wanted. Hell, even the studio doesn't think of it. Look, in the official EA launcher, they have this game's release date as November 15th of 2005. You want to know when this game was released? October 30th of 2012. You want to know when the old one released? Take a guess. No, go on. Please take a guess. November of 2005. I will happily die on the hill that this game is forgotten, and if not forgotten, at the very least disliked. There are very extreme, valid reasons for that. What? There are a few extremely valid reasons for this, I will admit. There is a complete lack of customization. You can't even control the color of the car. There is not a story to be found literally anywhere, and most damning of all, in my opinion, is the lack of progression. A common complaint that I hear about this game is that you can simply pull up to a really good car, hit one button, and boom, it's yours. There is no race you have to complete, no obstacles or challenges, just drive, click, ride. The only time that this changes is for the Most Wanted vehicles. You see, the devs understood that, no progression isn't exactly good for the players or their sales, so they decided that the best compromise was the Most Wanted system, as the game suggests. Not counting any DLC, it's 10 desirable cars that have... Desirable? That have their races unlock after a certain level of this game's XP is collected. Do I think they're all worth it? I mean, probably not. The Shelby Cobra is probably the only car that I personally care about, and it is one of my favorites. But the Koenigsegg Agera R is also a really nice vehicle to have, same with the Pagani Huayra and the Bugatti Veyron. But the DLCs also have replacements for some of these cars, like with the Speed Pack having the Bugatti Veyron Fatisse and the Hennessy Venom GT Spider as cars that are automatically built in. Same with the 918 Spider. You have the prototype in the game, and then you have the full one, like the one that was actually released to the public, as part of a DLC pack. One last main gripe that I personally have with this game. What is the point with the small cars? Okay? There are a couple that I like, and I understand that we need to fill out the car roster. But who asked for this? Who? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Out of all of the cars that you could have picked, you chose... Another fair gripe that could be made is that in order to collect new parts, you don't have a shop where you spend money, you earn them through placing highly in races, but you can also take the time to do challenges with each part, unlocking their pro versions. This concept sounds really nice on paper, but the only thing that sucks is that it is the same challenge for the same part every single time. So doing this back-to-back for 41 some cars is kinda annoying, as it's, the only thing you can do in this game, really. With why this game could be seen as sucking hot ass out of the way, let me explain to you why that opinion is completely wrong. I believe the following clip perfectly I believe that the following clip perfectly encapsulates the feeling that this game has. That right there is what I love about this game. It is completely and totally unserious. It does not take itself seriously at all. The fact that I can jump a staircase, smash into a wall, completely shrug it off, and then watch a van clip through me is just, chef's kiss. If that clip didn't explain it well, this game kind of feels like the devs just threw ideas at the wall and saw what stuck, having fun with the creation that they were making. And, it's the same mentality that I have for Hydro Thunder. It's one that I can wholeheartedly say that I adore. I absolutely love when developers just take what their IP is and just go have fun. Like, hey, this might be dumb, this might be stupid, I don't care, put it in there. Yes. Like, please, let me just show you a completely unchanged introduction to one of the ambush events. I did not touch that clip. I did not do anything to that clip. And let me tell you, every single event has one of those. Some are trippier than others, assuredly, yes, but every single one has one of those. Another fantastic addition, in my opinion, this game has no damage system. In some of the other Need for Speed games, if you get hit too many times, your car just calls it quits, and then you lose stuff for the night. Like how in Heat, that's how they introduced the risk system. Not in this game, not at all. Me just shrugging off that crash wasn't a one-off or a glitch or a fluke. You can simply crash, resume, repeat. which for me means becoming a complete menace and taking the fight to the Fairhaven Police Department, and holy fucking until these guys show up. If you've played a Need for Speed game, you understand how the heat system works. Run from the cops, heat goes up, more cops, harder variants. This game is no different. Heat 1 is the standard, cops that you don't really care about. Heat 2 is honestly more of the same, but like, more of it. Heat 3 gets the highway patrol involved, with chargers that either catch up to you no matter how fast you're going, or drive directly at you like in ICBM. Heat 4 spawns in some Ford Explorers that are basically a tank build, slow but heavy. 5 spawns in the exact opposite, some C5 Corvettes. You thought the Chargers were fast? These things will catch you, but basically crash due to sneezing on them. Oh, also, they drop spike strips, so you might want to have those reinflatable tires, and the Pro version, if you didn't do that already. Then, there's Heat 6. I don't know what insane, unthinkable crimes this game thinks you have committed, but you now have to deal with this. 10 tons of uncrashable metal. Think hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby kind of vibes. As if the cops understand that they are in a completely insane arcade racer, they also do not care about your own safety or civilian safety. You are the only target, and they make sure you know that. Crashing into civilian vehicles, their own comrades, it does not matter. But hey, playing this game and talking about it are two very, very different things. If I can convince you to play any one of these games on this list, it's gonna be this one. I know, especially when we were younger, a lot of people just took this game and wrote it off and kind of threw it to the side because it's not like the normal Need for Speed formula. It's just, you know, it's completely different. It is completely different. Some ways good, some ways bad. Absolutely. But if you've gotten older and you still really enjoy arcade racers, give this one a second chance. Its accessibility makes it fun. Just hopping in and getting in a really good car out of nowhere and going on a joyride for an hour and a half is truly a lovely experience. Believe me. Or don't believe me. Go try it for yourself. But anyway, I'm kind of coping here. With that, my friends, it seems we have reached the end of our journey. This video was obviously quite a bit of time in the making. This is now my 4th time recording this script, and I do sincerely apologize for my lack of, well done release schedule. Consistent release schedule is what I was trying to say. But I just want to thank you guys for being here. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. You guys are amazing, and I wouldn't be here without you. So, with that, I am Respect the Badge. This has been Why These Games Shouldn't Be Forgotten, or something like that. I don't know what the title is yet. And I will see you all in the next one. Okay, bye!